Hello and welcome to My Side of the Bag, brought to you by Birdie Brands. Game on, bugs gone. Scotty sporting the logo on the hat, and brought to you by Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. Call it salsa, call it red sauce, but when you have Uncle Keith's, you can call it a party, and you can find your party in an Uncle Keith's Red Sauce can at a local grocery store near you. All right, I'm Drew Hinesley. He's Scott Leonard, aka Scotty Worldwide. Unfortunately, he has to spend the week in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but he's making the most of it. Final group on a Sunday.
Hanging in there. Here we go again. Back to the final group. 2 shots back. So obviously still with Ingrid Lindbad, and see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully just make a bunch of birdies because it's playing rather soft, and you got to go out every pin out here. So
yeah, storm system came through the entire southeast, hitting us all right now. Lost my voice a little bit last night at the Atlanta Braves game, cheering for somebody who's not on the Braves. Freddie Freeman, longtime Atlanta Brave, done very wrong by his agent, sent to L.A. Unbeknownst to him, the Braves made an offer. We all know how that story ended. He's in L.A. Atlanta fans, no love lost for Freddie. He came to the plate last night, and we all were chanting Freddie, and I actually lost my voice doing that. Proud to say I did that, so not my broadcasting finest, but we're talking golf anyway. And let's revisit. We made some predictions on Thursday evening about our Friday foursomes pairings. I said 4-0 Europe. You said 3-1 Europe. They've barely gotten that many points in 4 sessions. So I was wrong. Please forgive me. This is why I don't gamble on such things, and probably why you shouldn't take what I say to your local bookie. So buyer beware. I will tell you that obviously didn't have any clue what I was talking about for Friday. And USA, a couple of really good sessions, and Europe ended up playing some really good golf on Saturday, splitting both the morning and the afternoon. So now we go into, I believe it's 10-6 USA, going into Sunday singles, the same score, the same lead that Europe had in 2015 in Germany when the USA reversed that in Sunday singles play and won the Solheim Cup. So we have a recent precedent. Actually, players that were on some of those teams are still part of the teams, either as captains, vice captains, or players. I know Allison Lee was on that USA team. She's now on this one. So there is a recent history that all those players can draw off of from both sides. Europe knowing what it felt like to lose the lead. Now they need to go and get that. And the USA fought from behind and won, so they know that it's not impossible that their lead could be taken away from them tomorrow if they don't go out and play sharp. So a lot of that going on. Scotty, what's your point of view?
No, I think it's an interesting dynamic. I think the Americans struck hot off the Friday morning, sent a message that they're here to stay, that this is not the same team that showed up in Spain last year. Different vibes, different team room, and they've just played steady golf. A couple people have stepped up huge, particularly Rose Zhang, particularly Lauren Coughlin, particularly Maya, and then Nelly yesterday, just played like the number 1 player in the world. So, they're doing what they need to do. And, like you said, Europe had a late rally today, going and trying to get some momentum. And I think it sets up an epic Sunday for not just women's golf, but golf as a whole.
Well, nobody will play all 5 sessions for the USA, but Lauren Coughlin did play 3 of the 4, won all 3 points that she played in. The only player in this Solheim Cup that has a chance tomorrow to earn 4 points in this Solheim Cup. Local girl, T-Mac on the bag. Big weekend already for her. Could be an epic weekend with a win tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. It's cool to see.
And as far as Nelly, number 1 player in the world, absolutely played like it. I believe Stacey Lewis said in the press room after yesterday's round that in the afternoon session, Nelly gained 7.5 strokes on the field. Small field, but still impressive. And it's apparently, since the guys have been doing the stats with the Ryder Cups, President's Cups, Solheim Cups, that had never been done before. So an unprecedented performance by Nelly to help USA secure the lead. And let's go ahead and get to that leadoff match. The festivities begin on the first tee at RTJ at 8:50 tomorrow morning. Nelly and Charlie Hull. And my question to you: will any fans be there?
I was hoping that we wouldn't have to talk about shuttles, that we could just talk about golf. But unfortunately, the story so far has not been Nelly, has not been USA, has been a shuttle bus and not being able to get fans there. So, it was better today. I'll say that. The commissioner went in front of the camera and took blame for it. We can continue to throw stones at her, but the way I feel is like, let's just talk about golf. So I'm confident because of the not only free tickets that were given on SeatGeek accounts, but also the new bus schedule, that there will be fans in the morning and there'll be lights on the driving range ready to go.
Yeah, Molly Marco Saman, the commissioner, I have spoken to her many times. Wonderful lady. She has a son with the same name as me, so you can't help but like that lady if you're me. But I have called into question a little bit of her leadership at times and some of the decisions that are made. And we didn't even talk about this, and
Yeah.
we said we were going to in our
Yeah.
private exchanges. But Addie Ashtook going from Portland to
Yeah.
Paris in the Olympics, I took a strong position saying that should have been the LPGA trying to feature their player on a global stage, arranging a private jet and not having her,
Yeah.
hot planes as she tried to cross the Atlantic. I felt like they needed to do a better job of showcasing all of
No
their
doubt.
athletes, not just their United States athletes. You thought it was more of a management
Yeah.
decision with Addie and her
Yeah.
team that maybe they should have been a little bit smarter about knowing what the schedule would be and what it was going to ask of her.
So
I think we can agree to
sure.
disagree
So
on that.
just so you know, I did see Aditi and her father in Portland, and I asked them about that. I said, "Well, how you getting to Paris?" And her dad looked directly in the eye and said, "Paris will wait. We're here to win a golf tournament." So there you go.
Well, again, in this situation, I am happy that Molly went out in front
Yes.
of the cameras and instead of pointing fingers at staff, that there are definitely a number of people in the logistics department at LPGA headquarters, at the Solheim Cup headquarters. You could even maybe look at Stacy Lewis and say,
Yeah.
Stacy, is there somebody in your organization that could have done a better job? She didn't do any of that. She took the bullet, stood there, made her statement, um, stood in front of the cameras. So give her credit for that. But again, that's reactionary. We've got to be preemptive and we got to see these things coming. And like it's been well documented, this isn't the first international team event that's been held on this
Yeah.
property. I caddied there years ago. There's plaques about the President's Cup all over the place. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of plaques for some events that happened in this Solheim Cup to keep with that precedent. But this isn't their first
No.
rodeo. So bit of an oversight. And as Molly said, a whiff. And I completely agree. And unfortunately, for people that spend a lot of money to go to these events, the European fans that come all the way over, they didn't get to see the entirety of the event they wanted to see. And also for the players, I can tell you, being on the first tee before a team event is an awesome electric atmosphere. If the stands are full and the fans are engaged and
Yeah.
they're there. In this case, I think there was a little bit of that zip taken out of the fastball, and that's a shame for the
Sure.
competitors. I hate that for
Yeah.
them. Some of these, we've discussed it, they're not going to play this thing again. They may be in a different role next time representing their sides, but the players that are playing in their last one, unfortunately, those that played Friday morning, that won't be the strongest of memories for them, and I'm sad
Yeah.
for them.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. And again, I think the situation got better, and hopefully we can make it better for the Netherlands and into Valhalla in 4 years. So I'm looking forward to just talking about some golf now, because I think we got that situation figured out here.
You don't think any headlines will be made at Valhalla coming and
Well, they
going in
got
and out of
great
that place in 4
transportation
years?
and great logistics at Valhalla. Don't you know that?
I hope, I really, really hope when we're doing this 4 years from now, which we will be, that's not a story yet again. Oh my goodness, what a nightmare that would be. All right, let's get the golf, let's get the
Yeah.
players, and especially for us, let's get some of these
Yep.
caddies and how maybe they can impact some matches. So Nelly, Charlie Hall, Jason, and Adam gonna shake hands on that first tee tomorrow. I in a way, you'd like to see this is from a TV perspective, which I do work in the TV business as well. You want to see this as the last match because
Correct.
you want to keep everybody
Correct.
engaged. This match it could be the most entertaining part of the day, and it could be over by 11 a.m.
Correct.
Eastern time. So again, that's just the way the schedule goes. I know both captains know two fierce competitors they're sending out, and they want to see blue and red on the board respectively.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great match. I think obviously two, caddies that have been around the block and won many times, and Adam Woodward and Jason McD, both people you want leading out there to, have their horse down. Are we making picks, or are we just talking about the matches?
I mean, we could, let's
Okay.
make some picks. Go ahead. I mean,
Yeah, I
I don't know
think
how you pick against Nelly
I
right
think
now.
Nelly gets it done, and I think puts the first point up there for the red, white, and blue.
All right. So 14.5 to win the cup for
Correct.
USA.
14 to retain
Okay.
for the Europeans.
Okay. So that's 11 if you count Nelly winning. We'll keep score as we go here. Megan Kane and Emily Peterson. And before we get to a prediction on this match, the 9 o'clock and the 9:10 match, those caddies made some headlines today.
They did.
Jack Fulham and Taylor Takata took their shirts off as a bet from their players
so Shote
for a hole out, second fairway. What say you?
No. So usually they play $500 hole outs. So I guess Jack went up to Allison. Allison and Megan are best of friends. So Jack has been around Allison a long, long time, and Allison's been working with Shote all year. But I guess Allison said, no, we're not doing $500 hole outs. If we hole out, you're taking your shirts off. And look both at Shote and Jack. And when I got off the golf course today and I loaded up Twitter and I saw Jack take his shirt off, I said, wow. I said, he is all in. Because that is, if you've ever been around Jack, he is as stoic and as monotone as you can get. But the nicest guy. So he's all in. And I just thought it was fun. Obviously, there was, kind of maybe got in Sagstrom's way. They had to scoot around Anna as she was walking up. But all in all, I think it was just a fun. I don't think the Europeans took it the wrong way, like maybe they did at the Ryder Cup when Cantley took his hat off. So I don't think it's one of those situations. I think it's just in good fun, and for those four people that were involved, just fun.
So we have a Ryder Cup in Rome where Cantlay and, of course, Joe LaCava and Rory get into an argument. It carries over into a Rory Bones discussion. Sure. Very heated in the parking lot as they were getting into their shuttles to go home. And then we have this. So maybe hoping against hope here, we can play a President's Cup in 2 weeks in Montreal and not have a headline involving caddies. Can we hope for that? So. Can we hope the caddies are just carrying the bag and not taking off articles of clothing in the Great White North in 2 weeks?
Hopefully.
Okay. Megan, Kane, and Jack, Emily Peterson,
Mikey Patterson
at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Patterson,
Go
sorry.
ahead, make your pick.
No, you please.
I think she might be playing the best for the Europeans right now. I'm taking Emily Pedersen.
Okay, I will lean with you there, and then we go Allison Lee and Georgia Hall. We finally saw the Charlie Hull Georgia Hall pairing that I thought we might have seen Friday morning. Finally got around to it on Saturday. So what about the Allison Lee Georgia Hall match? 10 after 9, third match out.
I'm taking Georgia Hall.
Okay, so the comeback has begun for Europe. They have now earned one more point than the USA, according to my side of the bag. Again, my side of the bag brought to you by Birdie Brands, Game On, Bugs Gone, and Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. We've got regular and we've got hot Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. Call it a party when you have it. Find it at your local grocery store. All right, 9:20. Allison Corpuz with Jay Monahan and a Nordquist with our man Jack Clark. I know who I'm picking.
Who are you picking?
I'm picking the Swedish veteran, Nordquist, and we get 3 European flags up in the first 4 matches. So it does become entertaining.
I'm going to go with you, and I think this probably is her last Solheim as a competitor. I think there'll be no one really more excited tomorrow to go and put up some points than Anna Nordquist.
Really interesting match at 9:30. I think Rose Zhang, her second Solheim Cup against
Yep.
Saganda out of Spain, who, again, just those Spaniards love these team events. So according to us, we've got 3 European flags to 1 American flag. What happens in the 9:30 match?
I think Carlotta gets it done in a very, very close match. She loves
Mm.
match play. I think she'll have a little bit more firepower than Rose, and I think for Europe, Europe probably circles this match in the team room tonight and looks and says, "Hey, this is one you got to go get." And I think Carlotta gets it done over Rose.
So I've been watching a lot of the post birdie, post eagle celebrations, and Rose is kind of pointing her finger in the air, drop that one. She's been very, very extroverted, and I don't always see that out of
Correct.
Rose when she's playing. A lot more
Correct.
introverted, but I think the team element's bringing a little bit of that out of
No
her,
doubt.
seeing a little bit more of her personality. And I wonder if the European team is just going to sit Saganda in a room and just have her watching all of these Rose
So you know what that is. You know what
highlights
that
all
is, right?
night long just to get her
So do you know
fired
what that
up.
is, right?
Well, dropping the
So
putt.
no. So it's a dunk celebration that came
They,
from. No, I hope that this is actually true. So it used to be Terry's thing that he did with Annika, and so LC took it and has brought it to the Team USA now.
See, there we go. That's what you bring to
So,
the show. I did not know
so it's like
any
a
of
dunk.
that. I thought this was some, new Gen Z
Oh, it's
thing I
like a
had
dunk.
no clue about.
OT Mac.
Okay. Okay. Well, then definitely they definitely brought it back and we're seeing it. But okay, Saganda. So now we've got, let's see, we got a 4-point
Yep.
European lead, and all of a sudden you're saying out of the first 5 matches, Europe wins 4
Yes.
of them. So now it's a 1-point situation as the Andrea Lee Esther Henslet match starts to come to a conclusion. Who wins that
Going
match?
firepower here, and I'm going with the German Esther Henseleit.
Okay, so it's all tied right now with half the pairings to go.
Hello.
So you see a European sweep except for Nelly out of the
Yes.
gate. And again, I think we predicted something similar to this on Friday
Yes.
morning, and we were woefully wrong. So
Yeah.
tournament could be over by
It could be
now
over. It could
if
be
you
over by
really
this
are.
time
If
season.
you're
That's the
really
thing.
going with what we're saying and doing the opposite, tournament's over. Probably the most interesting match for me. We've got our man Colin with Celine Boutier at 9:50 against Mark Wallington and Lexi. Two big time veterans, both major champs. Who are we going with on
Yeah,
this one?
so I looked at this for a long time, but again, I think kind of in the same way of taking Anna Norquist in her match. I think Lexi's last Solheim as a competitor. I think, again, firepower. This is a golf course that I think rewards taking chances and being aggressive from everything that I've seen. So I think Lexi gets it done and puts another point up there for USA.
Yeah, the 10th is it can be moved up as a drivable par 4. I think we'll see that tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun, especially at that point in every
Yeah.
match. Somebody can either start their comeback or really extend their lead. So I think we'll see 10 moved up, 12's a par 5, 14's a par 5. So a lot of volatility
Yeah.
in those 5 holes right there, I think, tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Stark versus Lauren Coughlin. Again, Lauren at 10 o'clock with T-Mac has a chance to earn 4 points in a
I think
Solheim
she
Cup.
gets it done. I think they put in so much work on this golf course. She hasn't looked like the moment's too big for her at all, and why would it be? Right? She's no one's played better in the world the last 3 months than her. So I think LC gets it done.
4 matches to play, and you've got the USA at this point in the proceedings with 4 matches to go with a 2-point lead. Lilia Vu, Albin Venezuela. Lily, a number 2 player in the world. Does she go down
No,
tomorrow?
I think Lilia gets it done. I think
Okay.
I just haven't loved the body language and things I've seen from Alvin, and I think Lilia. I think she's a very tough match play type of player. Again, long, going to hit into a lot of greens and just kind of wear you out with good ball striking. I think Lilia gets it done.
10-20. Schmezel with Les and Madeline Sagstrom.
Sackstrom.
Okay, so we keep it interesting for the last 2 matches, and I'll
Yes.
tell you, Allie Ewing, Jennifer Kupcho in the last 2 matches for the USA.
Yep.
and Leona Maguire and Lynn Grant. I don't think anybody's earned a point in this
That would be
Solheim.
correct.
I think both captains maybe tried to hide
Oof.
the players that they see as either out of form or not playing the best. But you're saying it's going to come down to these two, which is always a
Oh,
lot of fun. Somebody gets to prove their captain wrong. Somebody gets to confirm what they've been fearing the whole time. All right, Allie Ewing, Leona Maguire, 10:30.
I think it comes down to one match, and I'm taking Leona Maguire, someone that hasn't played in as many matches as you would think. I think she's tired of sitting and watching, and I think she is getting ready to go prove to the world she is still the Leona from 2 and even 4 years ago.
I don't know. I think Vern just enjoyed having his feet up this weekend. Not really that busy.
Oh, he's telling
Probably just
jokes.
hanging out quietly somewhere. Probably hanging out quietly in a corner of the clubhouse, keeping to himself. What do
Oh,
you
I
think?
know he is. I know he is. Telling everybody jokes, looking at everyone's bag, talking about their irons. That's exactly what Vern's doing right now.
All right, final match. Jennifer Kupcho and Lynn Grant. And again, I've kind of watched both of them, and then neither one of them's looked very
Correct.
comfortable this week in
No doubt.
Virginia.
And
So who finds the most comfort, or who just outlasts the other tomorrow to win the Solheim Cup? You're thinking it's coming down to the
I think
final
it comes down to
match.
the final match. And unfortunately for the USA, pulling all the stops, I think it is 14 to 14 there. And I just don't think USA has enough to beat them. And I think European retains the cup on a big final putt from Lynn Grant on 17 or 18.
Okay. I have been seeing a couple of things in Lynn Grant's swing. Seems like she's not on plane at the
Okay.
top. And it's just, I've watched her miss a lot of shots, woefully short of the yardage she
Yeah.
was playing. So she is something about it. Something at the top is not in sequence with the rest of her body, and she's not making solid contact. I think she'd tell you that. I mean, I saw her on the par 3 ninth, and the pin was probably close to 30 paces on, and she barely chased it on the front edge, and it got maybe 10 paces in. But you would think somebody of her skill would be carrying that ball within 5 to 7 paces, so flag high, and she wasn't even close to that. And that's been a trend I've watched
Okay.
over the weekend. So maybe she finds something on the range. She's got that 10:40 tee time. Maybe get out there a little before 9, get a little work in, a couple drills, find a feel, and as Scotty says, wins the Solheim Cup, or actually
Ole,
retains the Solheim
ole,
Cup.
ole, ole.
If this thing ends in a tie for a second straight event, there's no way we can do that, right? We got to put some names in the envelopes.
No, no.
Just say that we go back to the President's Cup where it was Tiger versus Ernie, and we end up in a tie. That's not going to happen tomorrow. But if we were in charge, we'd say, Captain, give me a player in the envelope. Captain, give me a player. And only in a tie will we reveal these names. Otherwise, we'll torch them, and nobody will ever see them. If you're the captains, who is your pick for Europe to play a winner-take-all sudden
So,
death
so
playoff?
I've thought about this. I don't think you can pick one name. I think you have to send at least 2 people out there to play best ball because it's a team event. You can't come down to one person in a team event.
That's a fantastic twist. All right, two names.
If I'm Team Europe or if I'm Team USA,
Team Europe.
I'm taking Charlie Hall and I'm taking Emily Pedersen.
I would take Anna Nordquist and Carlotta
Okay?
Saganda.
If you're USA, I'll let you pick
You
first.
USA, I'll just take top two, Nelly and Lilia. That's
So I'm
easy.
taking Nelly, but I'm probably taking Lexi.
Okay, you can take Lexi, but my boy Brett Lederer is coaching Lilia Vu. Shout out to the
Lefty swing
lefty
tip. Yeah.
out in SoCal at Virginia
VA,
Country
baby.
Club.
Palm Beach.
Jamie Mulligan's prize protege coach. Brett Lederer will have Lilia Vu ready to go tomorrow. And if winner take all death match, I'm going to put my lefty student out there against anybody Europe has.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, I mean, Nelly might just eagle it and don't even need her. So
All right. That's fun. I can't wait to watch it. Coverage will begin tomorrow morning. First match is at 8:50. Charlie Hull versus Nelly Corda. USA needs 4.5 points to win the Solheim Cup for the first time in 4 editions. It's been a long time since it's been on USA
Correct.
soil, so maybe that
8
can change
matches.
tomorrow.
Like you said, the precedence there for Germany 2015, which came down to the controversy with Allison Lee and Suzanne Patterson, mounted the USA's comeback about the whether it was a good or not, and Allison picked it up.
A
Concession.
concession.
That's the word
Yes.
we're looking for. So yeah, and then again, how can we remember the meltdown or the miracle at Medina? So how about a tragedy at RTJ?
For those that are history buffs, they may know the Battle of Bull Run is very close to RTJ. Very, very bloody battle on the hills of Virginia. The hospital that was used to treat the soldiers is actually still there. Little four-way stop out there off the beaten path. So a battlefield not far away in
There
America's
you go.
history, and maybe a battlefield tomorrow in
Hey,
Solheim Cup history.
hey. I love
All right. Thanks to Uncle Keith's Red Sauce, and thanks to Birdie Brands for sponsoring this show. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, X, and Instagram. Give us a listen, give us a like, and we'll keep giving you our opinion from my side of the bag.
Go be kind to one another.